Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, family and friends of the 1st Infantry Division in Fort Riley, thank you for joining us today. My name is Sims, and I'm a Big Red 1 soldier, proudly serving among the most capable, engaged, and resilient group of men and women in the United States Army. We gather this morning to recognize the 3 amazing Americans who are awarded the nation's highest honor for their valor on the battlefield during the month of March. We pay our respects to these men with our actions today, and additional discussions of honor can make us better soldiers, better men and women, better parents, better siblings, better people in all ways.
As a Marine, we have this thing about every Marine a rifleman. No matter what you do, no matter what your occupational field, we're all riflemen. And each of you is the Army, every single one of you. The Army is no better than each of you individually. 1st Division will fail if you all don't recognize the value of each other.
Lead by example. Know that every move you make, everything you say, everything you do, you are leading somebody. You're either leading them towards a better future or you're leading them, down the wrong path. So just remember, at all of your actions, you are leading somebody in your life, and you have, a chance to make that impact no matter what you do. I mean, we each here on earth get to do that.
If you ask me what should you be thinking about, it's think about your soldiers and think about how you take care of them. People ask me a lot of times, what's your secret to leadership? And I tell them my number 1 secret is take care of my Marines or everybody else that works for me, and they'll take care of me. So try to make that your number 1 philosophy. Take care of your soldiers and they'll take care of you, and I think we'll be okay.
And then I always say, a lot of people, or the younger ones, think, well, I can't do that. But you can give your time, which is just as important. Teach your children what is important in life as far as giving back to others.
Don't think what you have to offer is insignificant. And I say that because I used to say I'm just a teacher. And now I say I'm a teacher.
Being a leader is virtuous by nature, right?
If I could work 16 hours a day, I would. I love constantly doing more. So the biggest thing is just being able to set those boundaries. Like he was just saying, just being able to shut it off. Don't bring it home. Take the time to take care of what's up here and what's in here, because otherwise you're not going to be able to overcome anything physically. I've always said that my mantra is, it's the 6 inches between your ears of what's behind your rib cage that dictates what you're capable of. And so for me, I really have to practice what I preach. So again, shutting work off, coming home, and being able to focus on what I need to do for myself. So that way, I'm not pouring from an empty cup. If I'm exhausted all the time, I'm not going to be able to give forth all of the effort to the causes that I'm passionate about.
My advice for every team, every community is to build culture before you need it. Because on that day when the tragedy struck, I looked around to other coaches in the community who hadn't built the culture, and they kind of didn't know where to start. We had already cried together. We had already laughed together. We had already laughed at ourselves together. We had already gotten in classrooms and pushed one another, and we had done it through commonality. And so I felt as though we were industry leaders in how we were able to grieve, because we had already come together and we had already developed this culture that was so important to us really before we needed it. So in that, I learned that anytime I coach, I know that there's going to be something bigger than wins and losses, bigger than who we are as a team out there for these kids. And if we can develop our winning and value-based culture, we're always going to have something to fall back on. And we were able to, I think, move through our healing maybe a little bit more swiftly because we had developed such an integrated culture.
Having an honorable purpose, doing things with intention on a daily basis. What you guys do is above reproach, and you get to form that relationship on an individual basis, even though you're asking them sometimes to do something for the greater good on the team. They still feel as though you know them, you know their family, you know what they want to do, you know what their plans are after retirement. You've already developed a relationship with them so that they don't feel blended in, they don't feel like they don't matter or lost in the sauce, so to speak. You know, and at this level, because the guys have been doing it for a while, even with the rookies coming in.
So you got to work with them and find a way. But you know, that doesn't mean that we know exactly how we want to do it. But we were going to work our way through it to make sure that we maximize the time and the process to get the best out of people. So it's a good question, though.
I would honestly say that for all the leaders here, just consistency, fairness, and stay true to yourself. If you project that confidence, and people will gravitate to you for that mentorship. If you project that rock steady fairness, then people will trust you with their issues. And all those things eventually, you know, after time, is make for good soldiers. And when they are in those positions that they need to rise to the occasion, you likely will. So you got to plant them, you got to grow them, and it takes time.
When you're a leader, you don't have to tell people you're a leader, but you also can't turn it on and off. I know everyone in this room here is a leader, and people will look up to you the rest of your life, the rest of their life, and you know, we're not perfect, and that's okay, but I think speaking to your flaws and being open and showing them that you know, you're human as you're a leader, but yeah, listening and understanding that it's important to just show them that we all are leaders in some way or another, whether you're a spouse or a parent or a brother or a sister, you lead in some fashion, and you can't turn that on and off. So through that, I would just say, keep that in mind, that you're leading even when you think no one's watching you, but people are.
You're not going to solve these big issues overnight, or even over the course of a year, or over the course of a lifetime. One of the quotes that I really like to refer to is, the secret of change is to focus all of it, not on fighting the old, but on building the new. So Socrates.
Some individuals come across those hard times. In the military, most of us, we believe the same, we breathe the same. The difference between you and I and them is that we get to go home to a home every single night. Many of them don't have homes. They construct homes. How do they construct homes? They construct homes from the training that the military has provided them.